Well, actually, it's only a couple of minutes. Today, we'll be talking about the baseball team in their recent game against FHN West, performance of the week, and a look at how the rest of the teams did throughout this week. The baseball team was preparing to defend their field against a very evenly matched FHN West. This season has been nothing short of a roller coaster season for the boys, as they have beaten great teams in Vianney and Rockwood Summit, but have lost to less than average teams in teams like DeSmet. The boys started this conference matchup with a bang as they took a 2-0 lead in the second, and then doubled their lead in the fourth. FHN West would answer back with a run of their own, as that ended a great pitching performance by Jackson Mitchell, and the Knights led 4-1 going into the sixth inning. But in the seventh, the Jacks were rallying back when Adam Lang had a great save with his pitching performance, boosting the Knights to a 4-3 dub. Player of the game goes to Performance of the week will be going to the only undefeated team here at Francistown North, and they are known as the boys tennis team. The boys played the FHN South Bulldogs, who came in with a very solid record at 6-3, and the Knights just slaughtered them in a 9-0 blowout, meaning they were flawless in their 3 doubles matches and 6 singles matches. This is the worst loss the Bulldogs have taken all season. The Knights also have notable wins against Francis Howell High and Timberland. Finally, we will now be looking at how some of the other sports teams did throughout this week. Boys volleyball went 2-1 this week with 2-0 wins over Rittner and FHN South and a 2-0 loss against DeSmet. Girls soccer went 1-1 this week as they avenged a loss from earlier this season to FHN West 3-2, but got swept by Holt this season with a loss this week, 3-0. And rugby took their first L of the season to DeSmet, 19-22, in an absolute nail-biter. Well, that's all for me, guys. Make sure to subscribe and check out Audrey Dickerber's video, Northside News, which drops every Monday. And if you missed it, check out Jacob Delaney's Sports Break with Jake. Thanks for tuning in to An Hour with Lauer. Bye, guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sports Break with Jake. This week I'll be talking about Tiger Woods' recent victory in the Masters, and I'll be bringing on Cole Sherman to talk about if college athletes should be paid. This past weekend, Tiger Woods took on the Masters at Augusta National Golf Course. This past weekend, Tiger shot more aggressively than he does in the past because he realized that he needed to keep up with these younger guys, and he ended up shooting 14 under par in this tournament. And many other golfers look up to him because he is such a great guy and he is a mentor to all these other players. This past weekend, he received his 5th green jacket, which is his 15th major tournament victory. And many people are asking, is Tiger back? And I think that Tiger Woods is back, and I think he's here to stay, and he's going to be on top for this sport for a while because he is one of the most players in this sport. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited to see Tiger back because I used to watch him whenever I was younger, and he used to be such a great player back in the day, and with this recent slump that he has lately, it is nice to see him back performing at a high level. A couple weeks ago, Virginia's men's basketball team won the national championship, which brought a close to March Madness. With all the revenue that they bring in, the question comes up, should college athletes be paid? And I'm going to bring in Cole Sherman to talk about that.
Hey guys. So, 60% of D1 and D2 athletes don't get scholarships. This leaves 4 of every 10 college athletes to be left with having to pay normal tuition.
On top of having to train year-round for their sport, athletes also have to balance their classes.
This leads to an ultimate stress level of having to deal with team activity and work in the classroom.
The NCAA brings in more than $1 billion a year just from the tournament.
This revenue is all brought in due to the players and them who are putting on the show, at no cost. And as goes for us two here, we both believe that college athletes should be paid.
Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to check out Emily Hood's The Hood Report and Dylan Lauer's Hour with Lauer tomorrow.
And make sure to check out my recent boys golf story on FHN Game Day.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.
The Cardinals had their first home game at Busch Stadium last Friday and have been working hard in the series against the Padres. They headed to Busch after a 6-game road trip to start the season, and fans were able to see home runs from new player Paul Goldschmidt and veteran Paul DeYoung in the first game. Despite these home runs, the Cardinals' young bullpen was not able to control their pitches, and the Cardinals ended up losing the game after rookie reliever Alex Reyes gave up 2 runs that allowed the Padres to win 5-3. Since the new Busch Stadium opened in 2006, the Cardinals have lost 9 out of their 14 home openers. But it's cool. We've got all season. Cardinals were able to avoid a sweep, though, as Adam Wainwright led the team onto the field to defeat them 4-1 on Sunday. Oh, Virginia. After wrecking my bracket last year with your loss to a number 16 seed, you finally did it. You finally won the March Madness tournament. The win on Monday carried Virginia to its first ever championship title. The win on Monday carried the strong Virginia men's basketball team to its first ever championship title. It looked like the Cavaliers might blow their number 1 seed again until DeAndre Hunter hit a game-tying 3-point shot with 12.9 seconds left in regulation to send the game to overtime. In the last 5 minutes of the game, their confidence came back as they hit 12 straight free throws to win the game against Texas Tech 85-77. Of course, I picked you guys to win the whole thing last year, but it's fine. I'll forgive you. The college admissions scandal has rocked some of the most prestigious schools in the country, and parents and coaches implicated could be facing jail time. 50 people have been charged by the U.S. Attorney in Massachusetts as part of the scandal, with some parents paying up to $6.5 million for their children to gain attendance into schools such as University of Southern California and Yale. These rich parents were working with college counselor Rick Singer, who helped the parents create fake athletic profiles and pay people to take the SAT or ACT or change answers following the test. 2 of these famous parents include Full House star Lori Loughlin and Desperate Housewives actress Felicity Huffman. Huffman has already pled guilty to the charges of conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. The maximum sentence for these kinds of charges is 20 years in prison, but it is unlikely that she will receive this harsh of a sentence or even any jail time at all. Getting into college is hard. It's something I'm currently going through right now, so I'm very happy to see justice being served so that we can hopefully get some reform into the college admissions highly competitive system. Standardized test scores like the SAT and ACT can be so hard to get, honestly. So if you want to learn some tips to actually do your ACT the right way and do really well on it for your college admissions, be sure to check out next week's episode of Northside News, where Audrey Dick Herber is going to be giving you guys some study tips. And that is all the stories that we have for you today. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of The Hood Report. And as always, tune in tomorrow to Sports Break with Jake to hear all about the college and professional sports news from Jacob Delaney. I hope you all have a great week.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's live coverage of boys volleyball game against the Francis Howell North Knights and the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joel Bennett. Alongside me tonight is Parker Killen. Now, Parker, these two teams have kind of had opposing seasons. While the Knights are having an incredible season, going 13-5 so far, the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers aren't exactly having the best season, only going 4-11 so far. So what do you think the Knights need to do in order to avoid a big upset tonight?
Well, as you said, the Knights are having a great season, and this year they have 8 returning seniors who have really helped the team, and they've also got some really talented young players such as Avery Ward and Zach Zimmerman, who are 2 players to watch out for in tonight's game.
And you mentioned those 2 young players for the Knights. Who do you think the Knights have to look out for on the Panthers squad?
Well, they're going to have to look out for Kyle Bampton and Ron Cross and Jason Reyes, because they've both been, all 3 have been having an outstanding season with the Panthers, and the Panthers are going to have to use them if they want to find a way to knock off the Knights. And like I said earlier, the Knights are going to have to use their key players such as Avery Ward and Zach Zimmerman, and not just them, but even Patrick Coaster, and who's also having a great season as well for the Knights.
All right, and we are going to start coverage here. Trey DeHasa is going to get that return here over to John Geralt, and that is going to go out of bounds early, as the Panthers are going to get their early point, and it is going to be Chance Orff who is going to be continuing to serve for them. Here comes Orff with the serve, by with it, going to Geralt as he floats it over, and it gets him off guard, as it looks like number 2, Sean Grimes, who touched the net, and is going to go over to the Knights, and Patrick Kester is going to be serving.
John Geralds, who just made the block earlier, is another player I forgot to mention. He's also been having an outstanding season with the Knights, and he'll be another key player for the Knights in order for them to knock off this Panthers team.
And that was a nice block there from both Avery Ward and John Geralt once again, as The Knights go up early, 2-1. Kester with the serve again. He's going to get it out, and that hit goes out of bounds. Little thing, number 15, Alex Collins, tried to keep it in play. Knights are going to continue serving. It goes over to Grimes again, and Collins just lofts it over. Ward is going to set it up, and Mogg is going to lightly tap it over, and that point is going to go to the Panthers as that ball just went under the net there. And Trey DeHesa is going to come back on. And now serving is going to be Ryan Schneider, the libero, for tonight for the Panthers. It's going to go Zimmerman to Ward, going over to Geralt on the outside. Nice recovery there from Schneider. There's a nice tip there from both Geralt and Mogg again, going over to DeHesa, and that is going to go out of bounds there. Nice recoveries on both sides there. It's going to be 3-3 now. Schneider's going to continue serving for the Panthers. Going over to Ward, and he tries to catch him off guard there. And that was a nice tip there from Ward and Geralt. However, nobody was there to back him up. Kyle Bampton with the hit there. The Panthers are going to continue serving. Schneider going over Zimmerman with the service return. Going to Mogg, and they're going to Bampton, and that is going to go out of bounds. And they're calling for a tip call there. However, the Panthers are unable to get it, and it's going to go over to Avery Ward, who probably has one of the greatest serves in the state, has 12 aces so far this season. He's going to go over. They're going to go to Bai, and he's going to loft it over. Nice shape from Schneider, and that's a nice block by John Geralt. Oh, and they're going to give it to the Panthers, saying that he reached over. Geralt is going to talk to the ref, trying to figure out what he did wrong there. And it is going to be Panthers ball. And now Jason Reyes is going to be serving for the Panthers. Going to Ward, going over to Bai, and that's a nice kill there from Thomas Bai, the Mobap commit.
That right there is part of the reason the Knights are doing as good as they are now. A big key factor for the Knights in order for them to win this game that they've been best at all season has been teamwork, as we just saw there.
Here comes John Geralt with the serve there. And is going to go over. That is going to be inbounds. That's a nice kill there from Sean Grimes from the outside.
It's been a back and forth game from both teams. Earlier the Knights were leading 3-1, but eventually the Panthers came and were at first winning 4-3, and now we are currently 6-5.
Adam Wheeler with a very quick serve there, going over to Dane McManus. That was a nice flare there. And it goes back over to the Knights, and that's going to be a free ball for the Panthers. It's going to go over. Schneider's going to hit it over. Ward over to Bai. Another nice kill from Thomas Bai. And it's going to be the Knights ball as Trey DeHesa is going to be serving it now. Both teams trying to get a spark, trying to pull ahead, but each one keeps coming back. DeHesa with the serve there. Nice block from Kester, nice block from McManus, and that is going to fall in between the defenders.
He's another young player on this Knights team who's been doing great lately, and last year he started off on JV and was able to prove his way up to the varsity level, and this year he's been doing even better.
Here comes DeHesa once again with the serve. He's going to go over, and they're going to give it, and Bampton's just going to loft it over there to Ward, to McManus, and that is going to go inbounds. Nice kill there from Dane McManus.
And great teamwork from both sophomores, Avery Ward and Dane McManus.
Days are going to continue serving for the Knights. That's a nice save there from Reyes over to Schneider. And now it's going to go to Thomas By. That's a nice recovery there from the Panthers, but they are unable to get it. That was a nice recovery there from Ryan Schneider. However, it just falls in between the rest of the defenders, and now the Panthers are going to take a timeout. The score is currently 9-6 in favor of the Knights.
So, Joel, coming into this game, even though we've just started, what have been the biggest strengths from both teams in this game so far?
So I think the biggest thing for the Knights, one thing that you've constantly been saying is the teamwork for them, as they've been able to get their sets off well. They've had great kills to get some good points. And for the Panthers, I think it's just keeping a good defense, because as long as they have good defense, then they'll be able to be close.
That's right, Joel. As we've said with the teamwork, the Knights have a lot of experienced volleyball players, and as you said about the Panthers and their defense, they're going to need to make sure they have a strong defense, especially with some of these strong spikes we've seen from players such as John Garretts and Thomas Bay.
Now the Knights are going to continue serving now. Trey DeHace is going to continue as he is on a 3-point streak right now. As going to go out of bounds, as it looked like the Panthers were trying to get a hand on it, but they're very lucky that they didn't. And now coming up is going to be Kyle Pampton, who leads his team with 8 aces on the season. Hayes is going to dig that out, going to Kester, and it's going to go over now. That's a nice block there from both Bai and McManus. Ward with the recovery there, looking for Bai, and he's just going to loft it over. He's going to go over. Nice tip once again from Thomas Bai. Going over to Kester. He's once again, and that's a nice hit from Thomas Bai. And they're going to give it to them because it goes out of bounds. Those 3 nice hits there from Ron Cross. Nice dig there from John Geralt to Bai, who lofts it over. McManus trying for the kill, and that is going to hit the net. And the Knights are going to get the point. And it is now going to go over to Thomas Bai.
Another advantage the Knights have is that they have a lot of really tall volleyball players, and height is a very important factor in volleyball.
Here comes Bai with the serve. That goes cross court, and that is going to go into the stands after reflecting off of Jason Reyes. It's going to be Bai once again, looking to serve for the Knights. And that was a nice save there. And that is going to go out of bounds. What a save there from Ron Cross to keep the play alive. And it resulted in with a point for the Panthers. Tyler Wortman is going to be serving now for the Panthers. And Avery Ward is going to cross up the Panthers defense there, as he's able to get a point.
Great play by Avery Ward. And some great serves earlier by Thomas Bay, and a great assist earlier to Avery Ward, as we just saw, as freshman Zach Zimmerman comes into the game to serve.
And Zimmerman is going to be serving now. And is going to head over, and those are nice blocks there from John Geralt and Patrick Kester. So once again, Alex Collins unable to get the spike over. And Zach Zimmerman is going to continue serving for the Knights. He's going to loft it over, trying to cross him up. Going over to Bampton, unable to get it. Going over to Kester. That was a nice try there once again from Wortman. However, the point is going to go for the Knights. It is now 14-9 in favor of Francis Howell North Knights. And now here comes Zimmerman once again, trying to loft over. However, too little power, and it's just going to go into the net. And Chance Orff is going to be back to serving. Here comes. Nice kill there from John Geralt. As he got the quick load and he was able to unleash it on the Panthers defense.
And a great assist from Avery Ward, who's also been playing a great game.
And here comes over. And that is going to hit those red and white bars, so it's going to be North's point. And here comes Kester once again, and that is going to hit the top of the net, unfortunately, for the... It's 16-11 now in favor of the Knights.
As Trey DeHesa comes back into the game for the Knights.
Here comes Schneider with the serve, going to By to Ward, looking for Mogg, and he's going to try and loft over, going over to Ward again to Geralt, lofts it over again. That's going to be unable to save that. That was Tyler Wortman. The Panthers looking to better their communication so that 3 points like that just don't happen. Now Ward is going to be coming into the game.
Strong.
Nice save there from Schneider, and Geralt is going to get the block there. My mistake there, Parker.
It was a great serve from Avery Ward, who is one of the top servers in the area. And a great spike by John Geralt, who has also been playing a phenomenal game so far.
And here comes Avery Ward once again. Schneider's going to recover that, looking for Bampton. And Bampton, nice save from Zach Zimmerman. And Evan Mogg just hops over everybody on the bench, trying to save that ball, and unfortunately unable to save it.
That right there from Evan looked like a hurdle in track and field.
And now Jason Reyes is going to come into the game. Serve going to Ward, looking for Thomas By, and he is going to get another kill. That's 3 kills in the game for Thomas By. All 3 of them very cutthroat.
As we've been saying, the Knights are going to really need some teamwork to knock off this Panthers team, and they have definitely been showing it this game, and especially all season. And as you just said, a phenomenal spike from John Geralt.
And John Geralt is going to be serving now. He's going to get it over to Schneider. They're going to be looking for Bampton as he just lofts it over. Ward's going to recover it, going over to Thomas By, and he gets tipped there. Looking for Bampton again, and that's a nice cross up there. Blocked at the net, trying to get it over is Evan Mogg. They're going to get it over, and that is going to go out of bounds there. And Sean Grimes tried to get this kill there, and that was a nice rally in between the two teams.
As the Knights are now up by 8, and John Geralt again getting ready to serve.
John Geralt with the serve.
Strong serve.
And that block goes behind the net as that kill from Tyler Wortman is just going to sneak to the other side. And the Panthers are going to get the point. Now coming into the game to serve is Adam Wheeler. Wheeler with the serve now. And John Geralt is going to hit off of his hand. As Wheeler seemed to have some spin on that hit. going to be his second ace of the season, and that is going to go into the net. And now Trey DeHasa is going to be serving for the Knights. And DeHasa is going to get it over. Schneider with the recovery. Back hit court. That back court hit is going to fall in between the Knights players.
As Kyle Bampton of the Panthers getting ready to serve.
And that is going to go out of bounds. And it sounds like there might be a little competition between the two teams, or the two team student sections. And Thomas Bai is going to go serve. And that is going to go inbounds, as that is going to be an ace there. 17 aces on the season for Thomas Bai. And the Panthers are going to take a timeout here.
So Joe, with the start of the second period coming up, so what would you say that the biggest strength of each team has been throughout the game?
I think, once again, like you mentioned, like we've mentioned multiple times, the biggest thing for the Knights has been their teamwork. They've been able to make very minimal errors during this game, which, of course, is a great thing for the team. But unfortunately, the Panthers have been making way too many errors, and the Knights have been able to take full advantage of it, and it's part of the reason they're up so much so far. And we are back to start up, as the Knights are only 2 points away from taking this first set against the Panthers. Thomas Bai is going to continue to serve for the Knights. And that one is going to go out of bounds. Unfortunately, unable to get another ace. It is now 23-16 in favor of the Knights. As now, number 12, Tyler Wortman comes into the game. And going to Kester, and that's a nice block there, and that's a nice recovery from Trey DeHasa. Going over to Alex Collins. Nice recovery from John Geralt. And DeHasa lofts it over, but unfortunately it hits the divider that is right above the net. That surprisingly just starting to make an appearance in this game. Going to Kester. And that's a nice dig there from Thomas Bai, and Avery Ward tries to cross him up again. Going to Collins as he lost over. Nice pancake there. And that behind the back kick from Dave McManus to go over the net. If that would have stayed in, that would have been very impressive.
That was very close.
Now going to Dave McManus, and he gets a point with that kill.
Great play by Dave McManus.
And now is going to be 24-18. This is going to be the set point for the Knights.
And now Zach Zimmerman with the serve.
It goes over, and looks like Collins is going to lift it over. Nice recovery there from Avery Ward. And they are unable to get it over the net, as it looked like Thomas Bai and Avery Ward kind of ran into each other trying to get that ball. And now it's going to go back over to Chance Orff. Orff trying to keep his team alive. Nice service recovery there from... And it's going to go over to Kester, and that is going to go inbounds. And the Knights are going to take this first set by a score of 25-19. So Parker, Knights able to take the first set victory 25-19. What do you think the Knights were able to do so well in order to get the victory in the first set?
Well, we've been saying this a lot throughout the game. It's been teamwork, and they've been passing the ball to the right person. They got a lot of strong players, and they've been able to have a lot of those players make great spikes, and they've also had some great serving from players such as Avery Ward and Thomas Bay. If they can keep all this energy and teamwork going, then they could possibly pull off a strong victory in just 2 sets.
And if you were to be the Volleyball North Panthers, or the coach of the Volleyball North Panthers, what would you be telling them to try and get them back on their feet and try and take this second set in order to force this third set and hopefully win the game?
I'd say to find the right person to pass the ball to, and to try and reduce errors and learn from the other errors they made earlier in the game, and see what all the Knights have been doing throughout this game, and see how they've been able to win the first set, and if they gotta just develop some strategy and chemistry together and score some points.
All right, we will be back in approximately 100 seconds.
Right. To avoid such incidents from happening, alcohol and drug consumption is highly discouraged. If you or a loved one are found with alcohol or drugs on the premises, you will be escorted out and may face legal consequences.
Come on, man.
Have a fun night with your betrothed. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Sports Break with Jake. This week I'll be talking about Tiger Woods' recent victory in the Masters, and I'll be bringing on Cole Sherman to talk about if college athletes should be paid. This past weekend, Tiger Woods took on the Masters at Augusta National Golf Course. This past weekend, Tiger shot more aggressively than he does in the past because he realized that he needed to keep up with these younger guys, and he ended up shooting 14 under par in this tournament. And many other golfers look up to him because he is such a great guy and he is a mentor to all these other players. This past weekend, he received his 5th green jacket, which is his 15th.
We are back here at Francis Howell North as the Knights were able to take the first set against the Volleyball North Panthers by a score of 25-19 here. And the Knights are going to be starting off the second half serving the ball. And Patrick Kester is going to get it over and is going to go over to Collins, unable to get that. Going to Ward, and that's a miss hit there from John Geraltz. And just like that, the point is going to go over to the Panthers. Once again, before we continue up again, my name is Joel Bennett. Alongside me is Parker Killen at tonight's boys volleyball game against the Knights and the Volleyball North Panthers, as that was number 7, Chance Orth, that lofted that serve too long, and it's going to go back over to the Knights. And Avery Ward with a nice serve there. Nice knockover from Mogg. Going to go over again, and that's a nice hit there from John Geraltz.
Like we've been saying a lot in the first set, that teamwork has just been outstanding.
Especially between Avery Ward and the two big hitters of John Geraltz and Thomas By. Avery Ward once again going to be serving.
He's been the top server on the team so far this season.
And is going to go over, yeah, and that is going to be Fordsamel North's point after that nice hit there from, that was Alex Collins.
And now Ryan Schneider.
And that's going to hit the net, and that's going to catch him off guard. That was a nice attempt from Evan Mock to keep it up in the air. And it's going to continue to be Fordsamel North's ball. Ryan Schneider is going to continue serving. Going to Zach Zimmerman, to Ward, over to Bai, who is going to loft it over and try for Bampton. And they are going to give it to Fordsamel North, saying that it tipped off of John Geralt's fingertips. And now Schneider's going to continue serving.
The Knights looking to over double their lead, which were unable to as the ball was overserved, and Knights will be getting the ball back. And
John Geraltz is going to be serving for the Knights here.
As Dane McManus comes in, subbing for Zach Zimmerman.
Geraltz with the serve, and that is going to be an ace for John Geraltz. That is going to be his 16th of the season. The Knights, a very impressive team service-wise. So they have 4 players with over 10 aces on the season. He's going to go over to Bampton. That is going to be a nice kill from Bampton, as both Avery Ward and John Geraltz tried to dig that ball up.
And the Panthers will be getting the ball back.
And now serving for them is going to be number 9, Jack Mueller. Mueller's going to loft it over the Hisses. And Thomas Bai with a cross-court kill there. His 4th tonight. And the Knights are going to be getting the ball right back. And Trey DeHasa is going to be serving for the Knights.
That kill right there has been something Thomas Bay has been great at. He's one of the top kill leaders on the team, and he's been certainly showing it tonight.
And it's going to go over to Bampton. Nice block there from Dane McManus and Thomas Bai, as he's just going to get lofted over to Ward, to Kester. Nice save from Schneider. And Dane McManus is going to get the nice kill.
Once again, there's that coordination from the Knights. That's also been something they've had. They've been knowing which players to get the ball and score the points.
And Trey DeHasa is going to be serving as it goes over to Bampton. And that's a nice kill from Thomas Bai.
And once again, Thomas Bai on those kills.
This is 5th of the game, as the Panthers made another mistake, just lofting the ball over the net. And it goes to DeHasa, hits the net as it gets served. That was some miscommunication there. That looks like that was between Chance Orff and Jack Mueller.
And the Knights are beginning to take over.
Knights having a nice run so far. Starting off this second game, 8-5. DeHasa is going to get it over the net fully. Bampton looked like he was trying to get the hit there. And that is going to go out of bounds, as Thomas Bai had a very close hit there. He's trying to find his 6th of the game. And now it is going to be the Knights' ball. My mistake, the Panthers' ball, as Adam Wheeler comes into the game to serve. And Thomas by with another amazing kill as he finally gets his 6th.
It's been an outstanding night for Thomas Bay.
He's had each of his 6 kills have been very impressive. Such velocity coming in. The Panthers are just not finding any ways to stop him. Thomas Bay is now going to be serving for the Knights. He already has an ace in this game. And is going to just go off of Wheeler to Bampton. That's going to be a nice tip there from Dane McManus. And Kester's going to knock it over. Trying to find Bampton. Nice dig there from John Gerolds. Trying to knock it over, but they are unable to get it after that nice block there from number 13, Tim Emge.
And now Kyle Bampton of the Panthers getting ready to serve. Panthers looking to decrease their lead.
Bampton going up, and that is a miss hit there from Thomas Bay. Ward tried to recover that. However, it was just a little too far. Bampton's going to continue to serve as the score is now 9-8 in favor of the Panthers. And it goes over to Gerolds. Another miss hit there. A nice save from Trey DeHesa. Going over to Kester. Kester's just going to knock it over. Looking for cross. That's a nice hit there from Thomas Bay. And Gerolds going from backcourt. Going over to cross again. Nice dig from Gerolds. Going over to Kester, who just floats it over. Can try and find cross again. Nice save there from Thomas Bay. And that is going to go out of bounds. Another nice rally between these two teams.
And now the score is all tied up 9-9. It's been an even closer second set than the first set was, where the Knights dominated.
And Bampton is going to hit it too far out of bounds, and it is going to go back to the Knights. And Zach Zimmerman is going to be coming in to serve. Here comes Zach Zimmerman with the serve. Nice recovery there from Wheeler. Back hit court from Schneider. Ward is going to take the kill there. Nice cross up as he realized he had a better chance to get that kill. And Zach Zimmerman is going to continue serving for the Knights.
Zimmerman's been certainly showing a lot of promise for this Knights team. He's a freshman on varsity, and he's been doing great.
And that kill is going to go into the net. It is going to be 12-9 in favor of the Knights. Zimmerman continuing to serve. That's a nice save there from Emge. And it's going to go to Zimmerman. And Gerolds is just going to bump it over. Going from Emge, looking for cross. Cross with a nice kill as it goes right off of Thomas Bay. And now it's going to be Panthers ball as Tyler Wortman is going to be serving for them. Nice tip over from Emge as Zimmerman gets a nice dig. And John Gerolds is going to knock it over. Nice dig there from Thomas Bay, and that's going to go over again. Two nice saves so far. Cross looking for it. Nice tip there from Ward and Gerolds. Zimmerman looking for Kester, and Kester with a nice kill, but that's a nice save for Wheeler. Going to cross again, and that is going to go into the net. Another great rally between these two teams.
The Knights are beginning to find that energy and are now up 13-10 as Patrick Koster will be setting up to serve.
And Kester is going to knock it over. And Ward with the block, but they are going to give it to the Panthers. Saying that Gerald's reached over the net to make that block. It is going to be the Panthers' ball. And Orff is going to serve it into the net.
Knights will be getting the ball back, and looks like their top server, Avery Ward, will be getting ready to serve.
Here comes Ward with the serve. Go right off for Schneider, looking for cross again. That ball is tipped as it goes over, looking for by. Is going to go over. Nice save from Trey DeHesa. Nice save from Mogg as well. And they're going to be looking for cross again, and that's a nice block from Thomas by. Knights are slowly but surely starting to pull away. And Avery Ward is going to continue serving for the Knights. Just seems to be a disturbance in the Francis Howell North student section. And the two teams are just gonna reverse the mill. Looks like possibly a water spillage.
Well, Joel, so in this second period, how have things been different from the first period?
I can't really say there's been anything different. I mean, Knights still have great teamwork. Both teams have had some pretty great rallies so far. I think the biggest thing is that the Panthers have limited their mistakes. And that's the reason why, while they're still behind, it's not as bad as it was in the first half, or first period. First set, my mistake. And now Avery Ward is going to continue serving after they got that water cleaned up. And Ward with a nice serve there. And is going to go over and looking for Thomas by again. Nice dig there from Grant Rappelin. He's going to go to Hesa looking for Kess Mogg, but is going to go into the net. And it's going to be Panthers ball once again, as Brian Schneider is going to be serving. Here comes Schneider with the serve, and that is going to go into the net. And now it is going to be John Gerald's serve once again for the Knights. John Gerald's coming in with the serve now. He's going to loft over, looking for Bampton. Bampton's going to try and knock it over. Looking for Bai. Bai with the hard serve. However, it is going to go out of bounds.
And the Panthers will be getting the ball back.
And they are going to be handing it to, looks like number 9, Jack Mueller. He does a nice spin move around his teammate. And here comes Mueller with the serve. Goes with a nice dig. Going to Mogg, and that is going to go into the net. Ward set him up nicely. But unfortunately, unable to get the ball over the net, as it's now going to be 16-14 favor of the Knights. Ward once again looking for Mogg, and that's going to be lofted over. And Bampton is going to hit it out of bounds, as that ball looked like it just went over, or it was about to go over, and then it hit the nice big tapestry right over the net. Here comes DeHesa. That was a nice hit there from Kester. Nice save from Orff. And they are unable to get the ball over the net in 3 tries. So it's going to be Francis Howell North's ball once again. Trey DeHesa.
The Knights looking to increase their 4-point lead.
And that's going to be a mishit there, as that just hit Jack Mueller straight in the chest. For a nice ace there.
Knights have been serving well all game long.
And that is going to be a timeout for the Fort Zumwalt North Panthers. So, if you want to come by and watch us again, first off, we hope you enjoyed our live coverage so far. If you want to come by and watch us again, make sure to tune in on April 30th, exactly 1 week from today, to watch the girls soccer team take on the Troy Trojans. That is going to be at 4 o'clock. Once again, next Tuesday on April 30th. We hope you can tune in with us then.
So, Joe, with the game almost being over,
And now we are going to continue coverage. The Knights only 6 points away from taking victory over the Panthers. Trey DeHesa going to continue serving for the Knights. And he's going to go over to Bampton, who is just going to loft it over. Nice save there from Thomas By. Going over to Patrick Kester. Nice save from Ryan Schneider. Nice save from John Geralds. And they are able to get it over. Nice save there.
great job of keeping the ball alive from the Knights.
And he's going to go over to Thomas By with another great kill. Thomas By, 7 kills in the game.
What a game for Thomas By.
Each one just absolutely destroying the court. Better check to see if there's any deads in there after the game's over. Here goes Trey DeHazen once again. 20-14 our score here. And it's going to go over again Bampton. And that is going to be a double hit from Orff. And they're going to question about that. So that ball actually ended up hitting Thomas By in the head as he tried to make that block. Now the Knights bench is laughing about it while the Fort Zumwalt North team is trying to figure out what they did wrong. And now the Knights team are gonna converge and talk a little bit. Trying to get a little pet talk on how they're gonna get these final 4 points here.
So, Joe, with this game almost being over, what all the Knights need to do to keep the Panthers from coming back? And
very simple, teamwork. And now he's going to go over to Bampton again. Nice try from Trey DeHasa to make the save there. And Bampton making a nice kill there. It is now 21-15 in favor of the Knights. As it is going to be Adam Wheeler who's going to be coming in for the serve. They're just going to knock it over. Nice save there from DeHasa. Nice save from Ward. However, unable to get that final hit back. And that ball is going to just run away out of the gym. And it's going to be saved from Dr. Birch. And Thomas By looking for the kill. And that is going to go on the opposing side and then go under the net. And Thomas By is going to be trying to serve these final 3 points in favor of the Knights. The gym falls silent. Thomas By with the serve, and that is going to be inbounds. His second ace of the game. And that is 18 on the season, painting the corner there.
that was very close, but very accurate there from Thomas By.
Thomas By being the deciding factor here. That is going to be another timeout in favor of the Panthers. Knights only 2 points away from taking this second set and the overall game against the Panthers. So Parker, what do you think has been the Knights' greatest strength throughout this game? Or who do you think has been their greatest strength?
I'd say it's been power and strength and confidence. They've definitely shown a lot of that, and we've seen players such as Thomas Bai and Avery Ward. They've all been very into the game, and they've just really been shining and just putting points on the board, in which we're now up 23-16 in the second set. It's been a great game for the Knights. We're looking really strong.
The Knights are going to be looking to close this down now, trying to get these 2 final points. And the Panthers still have a chance to come back. Here comes Bai. He is going to get it, and that is going to go right off of Wheeler. And just like that, Knights are 1 point away from improving their record.
Another amazing play by Thomas Bay, who in my opinion is probably the player of the game for the Knights here.
Here comes Thomas Bai, trying to get this final point here. And he was stopped by the official. Very lucky he did, because that ball went soaring. 1 point away now. Let's see if they'll actually allow him to serve now. And they will. By trying to close out this game. Nice dig there from Wheeler. Going for the block. Nice recovery from Ward. Going back over to Ward, and then he is unable to get it over the net. And it is going to go back over to the Panthers, trying to make the historic comeback.
Panthers are going to have to play some super strong defense in order to make this comeback. Right now they're down by 7th, but they've still got time. And the Knights, meanwhile, are going to have to be prepared.
Going over to McManus, and that is going to be it. The Knights are going to take this game 2-0 after winning that second set by a score of 25-17. The Knights improved to a record of 15-5 on the season, while the Panthers drop to an unfortunate 4-12. So Parker, big question for you now. Who do you think is today's player of the game?
I'd say Thomas May. I mean, you look at him, we've been talking about all his kills, and he's had a lot of those in the game, and his serving has just been unbelievable throughout this game. He's definitely been a key factor, and he's shown some great strength. And yeah, this was a great game for Thomas Bay and the Knights overall.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed tonight's coverage of the boys volleyball game. I'd like to thank the people behind the camera, Lexi Davis on live tweeting. We have Enrico Spadaccini on camera, Justin Christensen, and Maddie Chenault on score tonight. And we hope to see you next week on April 30th when the girls soccer team goes against the Troy Trojans. From the FHN Gymnasium, alongside Parker Killen. My name is Joel Bennett. Good night, and I hope to see you soon.